Critics and partisan hacks love to brush off claims of communism or socialism as fear-mongering. But is it? Is brush off of fascism fear-mongering? Well, let's see where we are, what direction we're headed. Here we are again. These are the tracks. This was freedom. There was small government and anarchy possible here. Here there's communism and fascism. Coughlin was down here in fascism. And FDR was surrounded by people, and I'll show you in a minute, surrounded by people who were communists. In the 1930s, the CIO, the union, actively recruited communists to join their ranks, actively. Before long, the CIO controlled unions, and it had about 2 million members. By 1950, they turned on those communists and ousted the unions that were dominated by communist leaders. In the 1990s, however, they voted unanimously to remove the anti-communist clause from their constitution. Maybe it was because everybody thought communism was dead. The effort, however, was led by John Sweeney. He is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. It's interesting how progressives and communists and everybody else just changed the name. He was the president of the AFL-CIO from 1995 until last year. He also started the Union Summer Intern Program. This was great. This was a crash course on achieving social justice and economic justice through community organizing and using class warfare ideas and tactics. Question: why would you need to repeal this old law in your bylaws of your union, unless there was some new demand or desire for communists to join your ranks? Now let me take you to California. In 2008, the state Senate passed SB 1322. This bill, amazingly, allowed communists to teach in schools, to become school teachers in California. Oh, and public employees also would no longer have to take an oath of office, which reads in part, "I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I do further swear or affirm that I do not advocate, nor am I a member of any party or organization, political or otherwise, that now advocates the overthrow of the government of the United States or of the State of California by force or violence." Why would you want people to stop taking that oath? Who wouldn't want that taken? Especially by teachers. Other than maybe people who are what? Looking for social justice? Here's how Arnold Schwarzenegger responded when the bill came to his desk. I bet you had no idea which way he would go on this one. But he said, quote, "I see no compelling reason to change the law that maintains our responsibility to ensure that public resources are not used for purposes of overthrowing the U.S. or state government or for communist activities. For those reasons, I'm unable to sign this bill." Even Arnold Schwarzenegger would not go for this. Maybe it was his time in Austria with his family. How did it make it all the way to his desk? In a completely unrelated story, do you know who the top political spender was in California last year? Who's the group that's dumping the most lobbying money into swaying politicians? The group that didn't want anybody to have to take an oath to protect the Constitution, or say that you're not involved in any group that wants to overthrow the United States of America. Yes, the unions. The teachers' unions. They spent $211.8 million. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. It has nothing to do with communism or social justice.